Today I'm reviewing a 2008 Hummer H3. The H3 was sold from the 2006 to 2010 model year before it was discontinued with the rest of the Hummer lineup. It's built on a modified platform of the Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyon pickup, and it's reinforced for heavy off-road use. The H3 is also the smallest offering from Hummer, sitting below the original H1, which was designed for military use and later offered in civilian form, and the H2, which was the first mainstream offering from Hummer. The H3 was also offered in pickup form for the 2009 and 2010 model year. That model was called the H3T. Now, without a doubt, the thing that stands out the most about the H3 is the styling. It's got a very bold, in-your-face look to it, very rugged and capable looking, pays a lot of tribute to that original H1 model while still maintaining a character of its own. With that, it's got a very rectangular shape to it, a lot of square lines throughout. It's got these side windows that are very short in the vertical dimension, giving it that militaristic look, and then the front of the vehicle looks a lot like the H1. It's got the classic Hummer grille with the 7-slot, circular headlights, and the rectangular side indicators. It's got this little fake intake on the hood, and then these bulges on the passenger and driver's side. The H3 comes with a very off-road oriented bumper, which really helps to maximize the front approach angle. It's got these built-in recovery hooks, and then nice large fog lights. And just overall, it's got a very bold, rugged look to it, and that's a theme that's carried throughout the vehicle. Now, one of the design cues that stands out the most about the H3 when compared with the H1 and the H2 is these side fenders that really bulge out from the vehicle. I really like what it does for the vehicle, giving it its own personality while still maintaining that Hummer look. It's also got a number of design cues throughout that give it that really heavy-duty look. You see that with these mirrors, with these large door handles, and then also the little cap that we get here over the gas tank. On the rear of the vehicle, you'll see we've got the rear mounted spare tire, and then we've got another recovery hook here on the passenger side. Again, this rear bumper has a very off-road look to it. The Hummer comes standard with 9.7 inches of ground clearance. This vehicle does have a slight lift kit with aftermarket wheels, 35-inch tires, and the side steps. Overall, I really like the way that the vehicle comes together in terms of styling. The one area that's very controversial about the H3 is that it pays tribute to that H1, but a lot of people feel like it's kind of a con in a sense, because it's giving you that look of an H1, but it doesn't match it in terms of off-road capability. And while that's true, the H3 actually has a very impressive suite of engineering cues and technology, which gives it some impressive off-road capability. Obviously, the approach angle that we've got at the front here really helps with that. It's got a short wheelbase, which helps with the breakover angle, and then it's also got a really great departure angle here with not much length at the end of the vehicle here. On top of that, it's got an electronically controlled 4-wheel drive system with a 4-low and 4-high option. It's got a traction control system, which will allow the vehicle to brake on one side, increase traction on the other side when you get wheel spin. And then it's also got optional front and rear locking differentials. On top of that, we've got skid plates. The vehicle is designed to forward through up to 27 inches of water. It can go up a slope of up to 60%, and it can go on a side slope of up to 40%. So by no means is this vehicle as capable as the H1, but it's still very impressive when it comes to off-road capability. Looking inside the H3, you'll see that it bears a lot of resemblance to the Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyon pickup. That's one area where I feel like the vehicle falls short. It doesn't have the personality that you get from other Hummer models. Despite the fact that the H2 is based on the Chevy Tahoe and the Chevy Silverado, it's got a very unique look to it. This vehicle does have power windows, power door locks, and power mirrors. See some storage space in the door here. This vehicle is a slightly nicer trim package than the base model, and so with that you do get leather seats that are heated and partially powered with lumbar support. We also get a Monsoon audio system. You'll see to the left of the steering column we've got controls here for headlights, fog lights, and voice activation of the OnStar system. Steering wheel is carried over from that Colorado model, but it's a little bit thicker. Likewise, the instrument cluster is very similar with a little bit of brushed aluminum. Center dash, we've got some vents, controls of the 4-wheel drive system, as well as traction control. And then we've got an aftermarket Pioneer head unit. Single zone climate control. And then down below, control for the rear windshield wiper, and two 12-volt outlets. This vehicle's got the automatic transmission, got two cup holders, center console, and then up above we've got a sunroof that's tilt and sliding, self-dimming rear view mirror with on-start capability. It's also got temperature and compass. Looking in the back seat, you'll see it's fairly spacious in terms of leg, head, and shoulder room. Got an integrated cup holder here. And then the seats do fold in a 60-40 split. So pull up this piece here and then pull this lever to drop that down. Doesn't sit completely flat, but does increase that rear cargo space. And then coming around to the rear of the vehicle, you'll see that the rear door does open up from the driver's side, giving you nice large access to the rear of the vehicle. And it's fairly spacious back here, especially because of the square dimensions of the vehicle. When the H3 was first introduced, it came with a 3.5 liter inline 5-cylinder with 220 horsepower and 225 pound-feet of torque. Starting in 2007, that was replaced with this 3.7 liter inline 5, which has 242 horsepower and 242 pound-feet of torque. Also has an EPA rating of 13 to 14 miles per gallon in the city and 18 miles per gallon on the highway. Starting in 2008, they began offering a 5.3 liter V8 on Alpha models, which has 300 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque. That has an EPA rating of 13 miles per gallon in the city and 16 on the highway. The H3 is offering either a 4-speed auto or 5-speed manual transmission. Max towing ranges from 3,000 to 6,000 pounds. Now, although the H3 is a really cool looking vehicle on the exterior, there are some downsides that you get with that cool styling. At the top of the list is visibility. And most noticeable when looking out the driver's side or passenger side of the vehicle, that view is really restricted because of those narrow windows in that vertical direction. Much more so than what I noticed when I test drove the H2 model. On top of that, because the vehicle is rectangular, very square, it's not all that aerodynamic, and as a result you get quite a bit of wind noise. And then of course, because this is an off-road focused vehicle, it's got a short wheelbase, quite a bit of ground clearance, and that affects the ride quality of the vehicle as well. It bounces around quite a bit, it's pretty jittery, a lot of play in the steering, and just isn't all that good when it comes to driving on paved roads. Now within this segment, I think it's fine. If you compare it to the likes of the Jeep Wrangler, which it's competing head-to-head with, it's really not all that bad in terms of ride quality, but it's just something to keep in mind. I wouldn't buy one of these vehicles if you're going to be strictly using it for highway driving. You definitely want to be buying one of these because you want that capability that you're actually going to use for taking it off-road. The inline 5-cylinder that you get in the H3 seems like kind of an odd engine choice for this vehicle. We're used to seeing those in even numbers, but it's actually not all that bad. The vehicle accelerates pretty good on the highway, and it's pretty good when it comes to maintaining those highway speeds. And then of course you get the balance of a little bit better fuel economy with the 5-cylinder. In summary, I really like what you get with the H3. I think it's a great looking vehicle on the exterior. It's very bold looking, very rugged and capable looking. It's got that classic Hummer look, but it comes in a very practical package. You're getting pretty decent fuel economy. It's a vehicle that's very easy to navigate in terms of the overall size. And just overall, it strikes a really nice balance between offering that off-road capability and a vehicle that's going to be okay for that day-to-day use. I think this would be a really good choice for somebody that wants a very off-road capable vehicle, something that really stands out in terms of offering a very unique style, but also a vehicle that's going to be practical for that day-to-day use. If you have any comments or questions on the H3, leave them in the section below. For more car reviews, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.